year, our summer promotion, as well as any new product updates which we will share with you. So I will get straight into it and look at the tourism performance for 2024, first of all. And 2024 was really a landmark year for us, and as you know, coming out of the COVID pandemic, we really saw a settling of what the industry became since coming out of the COVID pandemic, and it really showcased the resilience and the adaptability in the competitive global market. Barbados experienced a record-breaking year in 2024, and we saw 704,000 long-stay visitors coming to the destination during the year, and that really was a 10.7% increase over the previous year, 2023. And again, that was also an increase over how we performed in 2018, which was prior to COVID was our best performing year. So we did have a really good year last year, 2024. And so far for this year, 2025, and we look up to March, visitor arrivals are at 220,746, a slight increase, but we continue to pay close attention, and we are all aware of what's happening in the global environment and how it's impacting travel, and we are very mindful of this and paying close attention to the performance across the board, how we adapt, being agile, and in terms of our marketing and promotion as we go forward into 2025. Just digging a little deeper into 2024, the growth for the market was really driven by our USA market, and this was as a result of the tremendous increase in airlift that we had from the market in 2024, and I'll go into that a little bit later in the presentation. But we also had significant growth coming out of our Canadian market in 2024 as well. So for the USA, we had 228,000 long-stay visitors, which is an increase of 29% over the previous year. And from the Canadian market, we had 87,142 passengers, which was a 13% increase over 2023. In terms of overall, in the numbers, the UK market, however, still remains our #1 market, and for 2024, we ended at 239,045 long-stay visitors from the UK market. We are also seeing significant growth from our Latin American market, and for those of us who were here last year, we would have shared the additional work that we are doing in that market. We opened up an office in that market and really beginning to pay attention to that market as we try to diversify where our visitors are coming from. So we saw as much as a 39.7% increase from our Latin American market in 2024. Granted, the base is small, but the growth is there, and it continues to grow month on month from that market. And then we also saw a marginal increase from our CARICOM market as well in 2024. Looking at our airlift, and again, we had, as I mentioned before, we had significant increase in airlift for the destination in 2024 and going into the first quarter of 2025, as you know, which is our peak of our winter season. And here's a summary of what we would have done. So looking at, the Caribbean first of all, and Latin America. Caribbean Airlines opened up the new route to the French Caribbean in December of 2024. So Martinique to Bridgetown, that started at the end of 2024. We also had LIAT 2020 commencing operations from the destination to Castries. And Winair also commenced in November of 2024, and they had the service from St. Martin to Martinique and Barbados again. And Copa Airlines, and this is what has really been driving our business from the Latin American market. We saw Copa increase over the year to 4 times weekly, and this year we are also anticipating that to increase again by August of this year to 5 flights weekly, and that's really driving driving our Latin American growth out of that market. For the US, American Airlines, November of 2024, we launched the daily nonstop service from New York. And really this was the reintroduction of service from that gateway. I believe it was about 14 years hiatus for American out of that gateway. So that was reintroduced at the end of 2024. We also have, from November 2024, a Saturday-only service that started out of Philadelphia to the destination. And as well, we also have, from the US, Delta, where we started the daily service out of Atlanta, and that started again in November 2024. And then Delta also started a once-weekly service out of JFK as well. So you see the growth in the airlift from the US market was significant. We had approximately 50,000 additional seats. We also had JetBlue increasing their capacity out of the Boston market to the destination as well. Out of the UK and Europe, we continue to work closely with the two legacy carriers, Virgin and British Airways. And 2024 winter season was the first time we had double daily service from BA. So we had double daily on both BA and Virgin servicing the destination from winter of 2024. And if you're following the news, we have recently announced that October of this year, KLM will resume service to Barbados 3 times weekly, Netherlands, Barbados, and onward to Guyana. So that certainly will be a welcome opportunity for us in terms of opening lift from the European market as well. So we out of Europe, we still have Condor, which is once weekly, but from this winter we will be introducing KLM as well, so we are looking forward to that and really driving business out of the European market, starting with KLM service. If we look at cruise tourism, again, we've seen significant growth in cruise. We had 389 calls this winter, 17 inaugurals, 20 home porting vessels, and this really has shown that Barbados has grown as a marquee cruise destination and a marquee port within the Caribbean. The notable cruise lines that we welcome, P&O Cruises, Marella, and Celebrity in terms of our home porting vessels. And this year, we're looking ahead for the 2025-26 season. We are already seeing on the books approximately 467 ship calls, so a 22% increase anticipated as we go into winter 25-26. So we continue to also work from the cruise side in building out that sector as well. And this is just an idea of the inaugural calls that we had during winter of 24-25. We had MSC Explorer and Magnifica Virtuoso, as well as the Scenic Eclipse. And the Resilient Lady we welcomed for the first time to the destination, as well as Odyssey of the Seas, just to mention a few. And for us, in terms of we build out our cruise tourism product, we continue to work very closely with the Bridgetown Port Inc. They are our partners when we talk about cruise tourism, because they obviously operate the cruise terminal, the berthing, and we sit with them whenever we talk to the cruise lines. It's always a hand-in-hand partnership with the Bridgetown Port Inc. And they are working and doing tremendous work in terms of building out the facility at the Bridgetown Cruise Port. We are, by August of this year, we expect to open berth 6, which would allow us to free up some space in the inner port and having dedicated space for cargo vessels over there, allowing more space on the inner basin for our cruise lines. And they're also working in terms of improving the facilities, working on green port making it a green port operation, smarter technology, etc. We also have the luxury terminal that was developed specifically for the higher end vessels, where we are able to accommodate those passengers who want to have more of a bespoke experience at the port. We have been able to develop that specific terminal for them as they transit through Bridgetown. Looking at the hotel and accommodation sector, we have approximately 6,000 hotel rooms and 13,000 vacation rental rooms, or what you may be more familiar with in terms of Airbnbs and the villa product as well. So we have a mixture, as well as we are able to cater to the more budget conscious, and then obviously up to the luxury end in terms of our product. And I am not going to go into what currently exists, but the exciting news is to share in terms of some of the new product that we have coming on stream for 2025 and beyond. For this year in particular, we anticipate the opening of the Indigo Hotel, which is on the south coast of the island. If you are familiar with Barbados, this is what used to be the old Caribbean Hotel right by the boardwalk. And that will be opened by the last quarter of this year, so just in time for the upcoming winter season, and that's going to be 132 rooms, beachfront. And then we also have the Blue Monkey Hotel, which is more of a small boutique property on the West Coast, 28 suites. It is a member of the small leading hotels of the world, so it will be very high end, and again, that is expected to be open by the last quarter of this year. Outside of this, though, we do have a number of projects in the pipeline that we are very excited about. And beginning from as early as 2026, construction has started on a number of these projects, and we expect that from 2026 into 2027, we will see some of these products opening. Sorry. So the first one that we will share is the Royalton Chic. That will be opening on the west coast of the island, 232 suites, all-inclusive, adults-only property. And then we also have the Pendry Hotel, which is 78 rooms. That's a little more north to of the island. And again, that's anticipated 26, 27. Barbados, this is the first time that the Pendry brand will be venturing outside of the US, and Barbados has been chosen as where they will put that investment. So this will be the first non-US product that for Pendry, and that will be anticipated 26 into 27. Outside of those two, and looking a little further down, we have the Hyatt Ziva. Construction has started there as well. That's going to be 380 rooms, and that's just going to be outside the capital, Bridgetown. And then beaches, and we already have the two Sandals properties on the island, and we are excited about the start of the beaches product in St. Peter to the north of the island, and they have already said that this is anticipated to be one of their biggest, if not the biggest investment in a hotel plant, 600 rooms, dedicated Main Street experience, family-oriented, full shopping, dining. So we are looking forward to that. That project is expected to start in October of this year. And we would have reported that the Marriott Group would have started their renovations in 2024-25. We had Treasure Beach opening in December of 2024. We have the house that also just reopened in April, and then by July of this year, we anticipate that Colony Club will be reopened, and then by December, January, we expect to have Tamarind Cove Hotel, and then early in the new year, the other two properties, Crystal Cove and Turtle Beach, will be fully reopened by May of 2026. And again, those products will all be part of the Marriott brand, and under the luxury collection is Colony, and then we have the Autograph and the Tribute portfolio for those properties being reopened. So we look forward to welcoming that room stock back into the fold by winter of 25-26. And then sharing our new restaurants and eateries quickly. We have Larry Rogers in Mullins in St. Peter reopening. We have a new French restaurant, Derriere, which is at Lime Grove, our lifestyle center in St. James. And more inland, we have the Sao Buno restaurant opening in the Warrens area. And we also have our beach club, Bali Beach Club, which is near to the Hilton Hotel, and a new bistro, Madison Landis Bistro as well. And moving on quickly to our product as it relates to our attractions, Hayman's Market, this opened fully, I believe, towards the end of 2023, but it has continued to build out, and we see it really becoming a hive of activity, a number of eateries, a number of cultural and local entertainment options being provided on the schedule. So that really is becoming an art, really. So that's really becoming a go-to place in terms of entertainment on the island as well. We have the Paradise Nature Park, so for the animal lovers. And then close to the cruise terminal, more for the cruise passengers as well as long stay. It's really beginning to come into its own is the Pelican Village, or the Pelican Island, where we have again a number of small eateries as well as entertainment options. The States Rum Visitor Center has also fully reopened, and the beach club is open, and that's ideally located near to the Bridgetown Cruise Terminal as well. And then most recently, we have the Graham Hall Nature Sanctuary. It actually opens to the public next week, May 31st. And this has been closed for 16 years. Significant investment has gone into it. Government was able to find a partner in a joint venture to really get this product, and is one of the last remaining wetlands in the region, to really reopen this facility. So we are very excited to welcome this back for bird lovers, bird watchers, families, educational travel. I think this really will be a significant addition to our product for the destination. And finally, I want to really touch on upcoming events for Barbados. And first of all is Connect Barbados. And this really is our B2B platform, which for the first time since the pandemic, we are bringing this back. And this takes place June 23rd to 26th. Where we are inviting all of our major tour operator partners to the destination to really interact with our local hoteliers and suppliers, some of whom are not able to travel to meet them at some of the shows such as this, but we are bringing them into the destination and they can really experience and see the product firsthand as well. So that's happening at the end of June, actually exactly 1 month away from here. Barbados, as you know, the Mecca, Kensington, cricket. We can't have a year without cricket. So we do have the Australia tour coming up in June of this year, June 25 to 29, happening at Kensington Oval. Our Cropover Festival, of course, that starts July 5th with culmination on the first Monday in August, August 5th. And as usual, that will be a month-long activity, or really 6 weeks of activity, which is really our premier cultural festival, showcasing music, dance, history, visual arts throughout the entire month. So that will take place this summer as well. And again, we host CPL, which is the Caribbean Premier League Cricket. And that takes place August 14th to 21st, but the matches in Barbados will take place September 4th to 12th. So again, this is a major draw for cricket fans, especially for those within the region, as the regional teams compete against each other. This always is a very exciting time as we kind of go up against each other for the first. Normally we are playing as a United West Indies team, but this one we actually play against each other for the CPL tournament. Cari Festa, this is our regional cultural festival, and we are welcoming representation from throughout the Caribbean. Right now, I believe we have 32 countries coming to Barbados for the Carry Festival, which takes place the end of August 22nd to the 31st. So really, there is no better place to get a true sense of what Caribbean culture is than to be part of Carry Festa 2025. Each day, each country is going to be given a chance to be in the limelight, showcasing their culture, showcasing their music, showcasing their food. So it is 2 weeks of intense activity on the island, bringing together all of the Caribbean countries. But outside the Caribbean, we also have presence from Brazil. We do have a few African countries already signed up as well. So this is going to be an exciting period in Barbados at the end of August. And as usual, we can't compare without talking about our Barbados Food and Rum Festival, our award-winning Food and Rum Festival, I might add, which this year takes place November 6th to 9th. And again, this really is a showcase of our mixologists and our chefs, and we tend to highlight our local chefs and mixologists. And this year in particular, because we are also celebrating a year of activity called Regathering, which you see on the last screen, we thought that this year we are really highlighting chefs of Barbadian descent who are doing big things on the international scene. So those will be some of the faces that you will see participating in the Food and Rum Festival this year. And then for the sports lovers, we always have our Rum Barbados Marathon, which is the first weekend in December 5 to 7. I have 5 minutes. Yes, Claire.
The last 5 minutes? Or?
Sure. Just